Ooh, 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 ooh. That was more creepy than anything. I think mine was a little bit more Jabba the Hutt than Santa.
That's a different movie.
That's not what we're talking about.
Hello, happy Christmas. Welcome to the Best Thing You Watched special. It's our first special. Hopefully we're going to do many more. It's 2021. If you're watching this, you're listening to this, you have survived. Congratulations. There's one more week left. Hopefully you'll be all right. Hopefully you're here listening to us either on the day because you're that dedicated to our listening, or after the fact, which is probably more likely, and you're here for the discussion of all discussions. More important than any news cycle out there about COVID or war things or famine. Die Hard it's a very important discussion, y'all. Yes. I don't know why I went American, y'all. And
yippee-ki-yay.
Exactly. Are you going to finish that line?
No.
Keeping it PG.
Exactly.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie or is it not? Chris?
I'm gonna bring up something really quick because this has struck me as odd, and I want to address it. I need to address it.
Okay.
And you're the perfect person to do it with.
Sure.
Because you said Happy Christmas. Okay.
Yes.
And I notice that in the UK and maybe other countries, Happy Christmas is actually the response or the greeting that you get. Whereas predominantly in the US, we say Merry Christmas.
Oh.
Now, I read something, and I don't know how accurate it actually is because it was on the internet and it could have come from Abraham Lincoln. Who knows? But what I read was that originally in the UK, they said Merry Christmas as well. But at some point, one of the queens decided that that was too peasant. And to differentiate themselves, they decided to say happy. And so Happy Christmas then became the more posh way of saying it. And those of us in the rabble-rousing, rebels who absconded and left the country and went across the pond and started our own mess, we then, the lower class, continue to say Merry. So does that sound right? Is that
yeah?
Am I correct in saying?
I would say you guys are definitely lower class, and this is how I drink.
That's not what I was asking.
Oh, is that what you're saying? Oh, sorry. That's what I thought you were saying, Chris. Isn't that what you're saying?
Yeah. Oh, Ruben has insulted the entire country.
Insulted everyone. Good start. That's the first I've heard of it, but it wouldn't surprise me if the monarchy did that at some point because we do drink IT with the.
Yes. But see, I have my sword in the stone cup here, which I don't.
Nice.
It's not focused at all, which I know is Disney, but come on,
Minecraft,
it is British.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Right on. Well, cheers. Cheerio.
Cheers, everybody. Is that eggnog?
Oh, no, it's actually tea. And it's not even Earl Grey tea. It's Lady Grey tea, which I actually prefer over Earl Grey.
I've never even heard of
fruity.
Lady Grey.
Oh, it's delicious. I love it. It's my go-to. I will do English breakfast.
Wow, English.
Talking is hard. I will do English breakfast. I will also do Irish breakfast. Both of those are wonderful as well. I sometimes forget that I have the tea bag in there, and then they become almost undrinkable because they're too strong. And
doing that with green tea is dangerous.
Oh, yeah. I had this special green tea that I got from Chinatown in San Francisco. And it was funny, the guy who owned the store, he came out and he was, super knowledgeable about all his teas. He's the old guy. And he looks at me and he's like, this is for your heart. You don't drink this because it's good. You drink it because it's good for you. And I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
That's an important distinction. No joke, you steep it for 5 seconds.
What?
Longer than that. And it is like undrinkable. Wow. It is nasty. I don't know.
carry on.
Go for it. Well, I don't know if it actually did anything for my heart. I think my blood pressure may have gone down a little bit or whatever, but it made me feel like I was doing something proactive. And I did believe that that some of these non-traditional or non-Americanized ways of medicine do hold a lot of value. And so,
for sure.
I'm not
that's
putting
where we get our
chemicals
original leaves. That's medicinal stuff.
Exactly.
That's what we've made into the giant corporation of the pharmaceutical stuff that it is now.
Yes.
Where do we think we get it from? Yeah. I love the fact that people pull their noses up. It's like, but where do you think it comes from?
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is if you steep it in for longer than 5 seconds, do you die hard?
Yes, you do. But only during the month of December.
I thought I'd pull us back into talking about Die Hard.
Yes. We're only like, 5 or 6 minutes into this,
People are like, what are we discussing? I thought I clicked on a Die Hard discussion. We've started with tea, y'all.
Yeah, hey, well, hey. And a little bit of culture there. We're trying to elevate our discussion.
That's what we're doing.
Our discourse here, right? No.
Is there, you sure there's not alcohol in your tea?
Just like my high school Spanish teacher, we all thought it was coffee and we know it was whiskey.
Yeah.
The longer the day went on, he got more entertaining. So,
brilliant.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay. Well, so is it or is it not a Christmas movie? I did a poll on my YouTube community channel. Did you do a poll anywhere?
Yes, I did.
There? Okay. Yeah. I had, I'm just going to give what the overall score is, and then we can go through our comments and then we can feed in our own, our own commentary, I guess, on how legitimate some of these arguments are or not. But Die Hard is a Christmas movie, 74%. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, 26%. Wow. So out of however many people actually responded, which I can't see. 540 votes.
That's
not too bad.
Yeah. Geez.
Yeah. No, that's actually that's pretty decent there. Right on. Okay. So, but I only got 26 or 32 comments. So
right.
We're not going to go through 540. Y'all settle in for a 3-hour podcast just on Chris's version, and then we'll.
Nice.
No. Yeah. No. What did yours? Do you have yours up? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just looking now. Here we go. Die Hard is a Christmas movie, 77%. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, 13%. And I had another extra. Die Hard 2 is the better Christmas movie, 11%. Which is
that throws a complication into it.
Yeah. On 150 votes. So, and that was on YouTube. I also asked a few people on Facebook.
Oh, I think I did too.
So one of the replies was, I'm voting on this while wearing a Christmas sweater with the writing, now I've got a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. That was Stramurto, which I guess tells us where he stands.
Nice.
And Mr. Matchbox says, if it takes place in Christmas, then it's a Christmas movie. No exceptions. Okay, so we know where he stands.
I see. Let's see here. This is that's really long. But suffice to say, Die Hard isn't a Christmas film. It has become synonymous with Christmas, but this does not make it a Christmas film.
Okay.
And then he lists a whole bunch.
Does he list reasons?
This is an essay. I appreciate his commitment to his full answer.
Okay.
And he says at the end of the day, I love Die Hard. It's his 7th favorite movie of all time.
Okay. Wow.
So that, I mean, at least this is not somebody who's just flippant with it. But yes. Okay. There you go.
Okay. So Paul Hodson on my Facebook post says, not a Christmas movie, the Christmas movie. Well done, Paul. Victoria Gates says, nope. Okay, cool.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, my sister responded with, of course it is.
Yes.
Yeah, Brad.
Hard to argue with that.
Yeah. Brad Schechter says yes. My brother says, Die Hard 2 is, so he didn't say anything about 1. And then he said Gremlins is better. Just throwing a spanner in the works there. Thanks, bro.
It's a different movie. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Okay, so to put all this into context, because we've got a lot of information here, I think we need to start from the standpoint of what actually makes a Christmas movie a Christmas movie. What do you think, Chris?
Well, that is a curious question also.
Yes. Okay, so I've got a thing here from realtorealmovies.com, and they've come up with some reasons of what they think.
Okay.
What has to be. So 1, the film must primarily be set during Christmas season. The vast majority of great Christmas movies have their own climax on Christmas Eve, but any time in the stretch from post-Thanksgiving until New Year's qualifies. The key word here is primarily. A film that only has one scene at the holidays, such as Toy Story or several Harry Potter movies, does not meet this qualification. No matter what the Freeform network tries to tell you. And then they list the classic It's a Wonderful Life sneaks in because although large parts of the movie are non-Christmas flashbacks, the framing sequence and the entirety of the film's action take place on Christmas Eve. Okay, so I'll go to their point 2. The film must include traditional Christmas figures in a prominent role. These figures include, but are not limited to, Jesus. Remember him? Yeah, okay. Santa Claus, Rudolph, Frosty, Krampus. The figure does not necessarily have to be the protagonist to qualify, but must feature in a large way. In Ernest Saves Christmas, Santa is a supporting character, whereas in Christmas Eve on Sesame Street, it never appears on screen. But as the story is about the Big Bird's quest to discover how Santa enters a home with no chimney, it still meets the requirement. Point 3. A film must feature one of the traditional Christmas themes, such as love, hope, generosity, faith, redemption, family, or fear. Yes, fear. What did you think that the line in the song about scary ghost stories is just a throwaway? Before Halloween grew into the holiday, it is today. Scary stories were a Christmas tradition. It is no coincidence that most retold Christmas stories of all time is about 4 ghosts trying to scare a miser straight. This is also the reason horror movies such as Silent Night, Deadly Night are acceptable as Christmas films, if you're into that sort of thing. So that's their requirements, and then they have a lot of other blurb to talk about. But so
it has to tick all 3 of those.
I think so. Yeah, the film must primarily be set during the Christmas season. The film must include traditional Christmas figures. A film must feature one of the traditional Christmas themes, such as love, hope, generosity, faith, redemption, family, or fear. On these 3, I would say yes. Die Hard still qualifies, and there are reasons why.
Well, I'm trying to. I agree on 1 and 3, but what about 2? I mean, it does take place during. I mean, obviously, it's taking place during Christmas time because there's a Christmas party going on. There is a Santa hat at some point. Is there?
Yeah. So I watched Die Hard recently in prep for this, and I marked down a few time codes because I know there's going to be people that be like, "What are you talking about? This, it's not." Here we go. At 3 minutes 58, just as we start. No, wait. Let's go back even further. It's set at Christmas, and that's the first time Christmas is even mentioned is 1 minute 45 minute mark, and the dialogue line is "Have a very Merry Christmas." At 3 minutes 58, Ebenezer Scrooge, Molly is talking about her boss or someone on the plane that's an Ebenezer Scrooge. So that's a direct mention of a big Christmas character. 7 minutes 58 is Christmas music. 10 minutes 15.
Run DMC there.
Right there.
Yes.
10 minutes 15, John whistles Jingle Bells. 11:57, Merry Christmas with a kiss on the cheek. The bad guys arrive. Some of the score that they arrive to is Christmas music. So that's just the first 15 minutes, and it just continues. So
okay.
Yep.
Okay. Then yes, I would say satisfying that. Okay. Perfect. hard to argue with that. I mean, well, and well, so let me scroll through about any of these that say it's that it's not. I mean, why do they not believe that it's not?
Well, there's one here from howtogeek.com. They said, just because a movie is set at Christmas doesn't make it a Christmas movie. Over the years, movie studios and TV networks like Hallmark have honed in on the precise ingredients for a Christmas movie. In these films, the holiday is always central to the story. This applies to both Hallmark's mega successful, mega cheesy Christmas romance movies, but also to the thriving subgenre Christmas horror movies. True Christmas movies are about Christmas from beginning to end. They would completely fall apart without the holiday element. So could Die Hard take place on Independence Day or Halloween?
It could, as long as there's a celebration within the company. I mean, if you take out the company party, well, no, okay, no, it can't.
Yes.
The reason why it can't is because John McClane is coming home to visit his estranged wife and his children.
Yeah.
And he's coming home for Christmas.
Yeah, it's specific to that time. It's the Christmas holidays. Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't go for Halloween.
No, you wouldn't. No.
You know, I mean, he's a cop. He's got stuff to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Happen. Yeah.
No, I mean, you could make the argument that Thanksgiving, that he would come, but do we really have Thanksgiving movies? I mean, we have fallish movies, you know, I mean,
yeah,
but I don't know if you have an actual Thanksgiving movie other than, well, no, I was going to say Charlie Brown, but I don't even know. Oh no, they have a Thanksgiving episode. I mean, that's a Thanksgiving show, but anyway, neither here nor there. Yeah, so, I think.
Karen?
No, never mind. I don't know where I was going.
I was just going to continue playing the, what do you call the antagonist?
Okay, Devil's Advocate.
Devil's Advocate. Thank you. That's
yes.
Much better. We hadn't intended it to be a Christmas movie, but the joy that came from it was what turned into a Christmas movie, he said. Bruce Willis shared his thoughts in 2018, saying categorically, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It's a goddamn Bruce Willis movie.
Well, going back to our conversations a couple of weeks ago about Bruce Willis and his movie choices lately, I don't even know what makes a Bruce Willis movie anymore.
So straight to DVD, perhaps? That's what.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that I'm bitter at all.
Cosmic Sin. What?
Oh
yeah,
gosh.
No. No, but I mean, I think some of it, go back to some of the themes. I mean, that's really, you know, you talked about redemption, family, fear, even these all play a really big part in this movie.
Yeah.
And think about because we had talked about last week with Spider-Man No Way Home, redemption. Think about redemption in this one, because not only do you have like that redemptive arc between John and his wife, but Al as the cop, that redemption story right there. And I think that might be the more powerful or more impacting one.
Yeah, that's a great redemption story. I really like that character.
Yeah, because, you know, he talks about how he rides the desk now and he pulled his gun and he didn't. I mean, he has all of this regret. And at the end, though, he does what he needs to do to protect everybody. And it just gives me chills just thinking about that, because it is so, I mean, it's kind of iconic where the camera just pans up to him, you know, and you see the gun there and the knowing look, and he has become the hero of this entire thing because he just saved a whole bunch of more people. So yeah, I like that.
Great moment. Talking about prominent like Christmas figures or moments, when the first time the bad guys are introduced to the fact that they've got this guy running around the building giving them issues, he'd killed one of their guys. He'd fought up after the fire extinguisher moment. He'd set an alarm trying to get the cops to come, and so he does this tumbling, and they roll down the stairs. He snaps the guy's neck accidentally. Like most of this film is him accidentally surviving, which is great because it's
Yes.
more like he's just a man's man trying to survive and save the day. He'll do what he can, but then he chucks the body down in the elevator, and you see Hans Gruber come and read, and he such a fantastic role for him. I mean, I love him in this role. And then he reads, "Now I have a machine gun." Ho, ho, ho. So we've got, I think he's got a Santa hat as well. It's written in red on this guy's shirt. So we have, okay, here's the bad guy. Here's the, he's going to be really upset now. But it's also directly Christmas. It's at the Christmas party. Christmas quote. And that's a Santa quote. You know, well, ho, ho, ho is synonymous with the character Father Christmas. So it just places us in the time zone. What we're meant to be is celebrating, which is one of the reasons why it makes it so it feels like you shouldn't be doing this at Christmas, man. This is a time for family and you know, getting together with one loves. And they think they're terrorists, obviously, when they first arrive. Later we find out they're thieves. But that first initial outcome is like, oh, these guys are you know, really bad. They know what they're doing. They're really smart. And then comes Bruce Willis with no shoes.
That hurts me every time.
Because he was following that guy told him in the plane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take off your...
And scrunch with your toes. And I was like,
yes.
That's always gotten me. I was like, that kind of makes sense. I get it. It's the tactile feeling after being on a plane for hours, and you just kind of, you have that grounded feeling. But every time we see the movie, I'm sure everybody, like in A Quiet Place with the nail on the stairs, you're like, put the damn shoes on, man, because later that's gonna hurt.
Well, and even when he kills one of the terrorists or the thieves, and he you know, he pulls off the shoes and they're just way too small
they're
for
the
him.
wrong
You know?
size. It hurts so much.
Oh yeah, when he's pulling that those pieces of glass out of his foot, it's just like, oh, I can feel that. But
going back to one of my brother's comment about Die Hard 2 being the better Christmas movie, because that is directly set at Christmas. It's all in one location again. Feels like Die Hard in a airport, I guess.
Yep.
Again, fighting the bad guys. And the ending is amazing with him creating his own landing light with the bad guys' plane and petrol. And then, Ali, it's your landing light, Ali. Great moment. But what makes it more a Christmas movie than this one? Generally the same film, really.
It really is. I don't know if there's any I mean, I'm trying to think back to even like the score or some of the music that's played within there. I don't know if there's any Christmas music. I'm sure there is a little bit. I mean, you have at the end where the cop tears up the parking ticket. You know, he goes, it's Christmas.
Yeah, it's Christmas.
You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, in this one, you know, you have Holly coming home, right?
Yeah.
To see them. Is that, because they've...
Their relationship is always the driving force of you wanting them to sort their issues out, and they never are quite able. So we meet them at a point where they're trying, and I think the second one is they're in a little bit of better place, but
yes,
they still have issues to deal with.
Yeah. Well, and she even says, you know, why does this always happen? Something to the effect of, why is this always happening to, you know, at Christmas time, or, you know, something like that. I mean, I think some of this too is the feeling that it brings to people, you know, that when they're watching it. I mean, yeah. So you definitely have the argument that it is set in the Christmas time. You know, it's in December. It's at a Christmas party when this happens. But I think people now, they look at it maybe as a little bit of just this absurdist joy, you know, that you get to watch some craziness that goes on during Christmas. And it's not your Hallmark movie. It's not that schmaltzy. and kind of just, play by numbers. I mean, I think now if you were to look at a whole bunch of action movies, it probably does just follow it's a very similar formula. But I think a lot of it is let me speak for me. Why it resonates with me is because it is some nostalgia, that it is, this is one of those that it resonates with me more during Christmas time, that it's like, oh yes, I want to sit down and I want to watch this because that's when I've probably watched it most. Do I always think about it as a Christmas movie? Probably not, but it's hard to ignore that. You have Christmas in Hollis playing in the limo as they, as part of the score or the soundtrack as they drive along. You've got Argyle, the limo driver who, he wants to go to a Christmas party, but he's waiting for his girl. He's got that big bear or whatever. I mean, just these different types of things. So it does, each little moment within there reminds me of Christmas time, but in a completely different way. Like, I don't think about this movie the same way, or even enter into it the same way. Like if I sit down to watch White Christmas, which I absolutely adore that movie.
Yeah.
But it's a whole different feeling when I go to that.
Yeah.
And so this one is, it's an action-packed movie that is also with Christmas as its backdrop, I guess, which is also, I think, when I think about, because one of my arguments before you read the checklist there was, I think for the people that say that this is just an action movie that takes place during Christmas time, so that doesn't make it a Christmas movie. Then I would argue that Home Alone is not a Christmas movie, if you use that same argument.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, you hear that. Did you hear that noise?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That was my computer making some very loud, weird noise. So if everybody else got to hear that.
Slamming.
Wow. Well, there you go. Anyway. So, I mean, I think, people, let's see, I'm scrolling through some of the comments here, I mean, absolutely, it's a Christmas film. It takes place during Christmas. Batman Returns is a Christmas film too. It's okay. I mean, it's clearly a Christmas movie. It has Christmas trees, decorations. What more do people want? John McClane dressed as Santa shooting the bad guys before they will accept it as one. LOL. It's not Christmas until I watch Hans Gruber fall off of Nakatomi Plaza.
Brilliant.
Yes, outstanding.
Well, Joe Movies has 9 reasons why Die Hard is the greatest Christmas film of all time. And we've covered much of them, but much like Joseph and Mary, John McClane was a wary traveler, which is the first reason, which I think is genius. What a way to look at it. What's the worst thing that could happen? Cue all Die Hard fans saying in unison, "Shoot the glass." Yes. Oh my gosh. The pain. Yeah. The film is the perfect reflection of a Christmas party. The film takes place on Christmas Eve as all the employees at the Nakatomi Plaza unwind with a few festive drinks and a well-earned party following a tough financial year. We're fairly sure that this type of rampant excess drug taking and casual sexism would never be allowed to occur in the Irish financial system. Cough. Okay, they're joking. Yeah, obviously it happens. The Christmas party, though, is a million times rowdier and louder than most office shindigs because the exceptional thieves, Hans Gruber, has crashed the festivities in pursuit of the 460 million. Oh, it was a lot. Oh, sorry, 640 million in bearer bonds lying in the vault. So the similarity to real-life office parties, though, is that the Christmas party in Die Hard also features an office jerk that no one can stand. There is that guy that...
Yes.
Yeah, he's snorting cocaine as Holly and John walk into the office, right? And he's introduced to him the first time, and then he's like, show him the watch. Show, it's a Rolex. Yeah, we love to hate him. He's the worst.
Hans, Bobby.
Oh my gosh, you just know he's gonna die. You're like, oh, seriously? Oh, you're the worst.
Yeah.
One of the other points I really like, which I think is great, you don't really think about it, but where is it? Here it is. It has the greatest use of was it Christmas tape? Yeah, it has the best use of Christmas wrapping tape ever.
Yes.
Because that's ultimately what saves the day, right?
Yes.
Because it's that where he's, taped to the back, and you're just like, oh, has he got a gun in the back? Please tell me what else is he going to do? And I think he has one shot left or something.
Yeah, one bullet left.
One bullet, yeah. And that's the moment. Yeah, such a great moment.
Well, and is Hans Gruber the Grinch?
Yes, in fact, that's one of the other points in this.
Is it seriously?
Well, it's not. It says, I'll be accurate before I'm quoted wrong. Hans Gruber is a greater Christmas villain than the Grinch. That's what it says.
Oh, okay.
There isn't enough superlatives or a film journalist that's talented enough to describe the sheer levels of brilliance that Alan Rickman brought to this character. But he is totally the Grinch. He hates Christmas.
Yes, and he comes and he steals all the presents. The money, he ruins the Christmas party, and his heart just doesn't get to grow 3 sizes that day.
Someone needs to do an edit with him as the Grinch. I think that'd be amazing.
Oh, that would be funny, yeah.
You're the cruel one, Mr. Grinch. Yeah, can't wait. That'd be great.
Oh.
And obviously has spawned one of the greatest yippee-ki-yay mother truckers, and the other one that we can't forget, where he's in the vent.
Come out to the coast.
We're going around. It's going to share. We'll have some laughs. Brilliant.
It's
iconic moments.
Yes. Well, and I always think back. I'm not a massive Office fan. I mean, I enjoyed the show, but I'm not one of the diehard fan.
Mm.
That, no pun intended there. But the episode where Plots, is that what they call him?
Yeah.
Whatever his name. Yeah. Where he starts doing Die Hard, word for word. It's like, oh, I'm enjoying that. That was cool. I mean, I think you're a little bit psychotic to have memorized the entire script, but that's outstanding, the dedication that goes within that. But I just think, just back to like, I don't remember whatever the first line is. And then she's like, oh, we're starting. Just entranced in this. But yeah. How often do you watch this movie?
I've watched it quite a few times now, so I tend to do it not every Christmas. It's maybe like every 2 years. I think I'll stick it on, and then it's like fresh again. I'm doing that with the Harry Potters and the Lord of the Rings as well. We used to watch them every year, but now we try to alternate. So we'll watch the Harry Potters and then Lord of the Rings and then Harry Potters. And some years we're just too saturated, so we'll give it a miss. But,
gotcha.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, we do. Like Harry Potter, we try to do every year right around Thanksgiving-ish time. Mm-hmm. As the kids have gotten older, as things have gotten busier, it does become harder. And that's the same with the Christmas movies too. We have this stack of Christmas movies that we want to get through.
But you won't get through all of them, yeah.
No, we won't. And we try and shuffle through them. Die Hard is probably about an every 3-ish years.
Okay.
It's still totally enjoy it, but I think some of it is also just the mindset, whatever mindset I'm in.
Absolutely.
And
it is nostalgia. It's fairly old as well. It's 1988.
Wow. Wow. That's well. I remember in one day, one of my friends spoiled Die Hard 2. Told me who the villain was. Before I'd seen it. suck.
That is
Seriously.
the worst.
So then I go into the whole movie like just knowing.
No,
It's like that.
That is the worst.
Yeah.
Did you know that Die Hard 3, or Die Hard with a Vengeance, wasn't actually a Die Hard movie? The script was totally named something else. It was just add bombs to cops, and then it got renamed, and it kind of fit the bill. So you had McClane, and yeah, so they kind of rewrote it for that to include like the brother being some connection to Hans.
Yes. Yeah. Jeremy Irons, right?
Yeah.
Plays the villain
Who's
in that. Yeah.
excellent again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think, I mean, as much as I enjoyed Die Hard 2, I do believe that both Jeremy Irons and Alan Rickman.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Vengeance is so much better than 2, for sure.
Yeah. So
on Rotten Tomatoes, Die Hard still stands at 94% by the critics and 94% by the audience, with 250,000 ratings. So 250,000 people have rated it, and they're both critics and audience. They're not saying it's a Christmas movie or other. They're just saying it's a great film.
It's a great film. Yeah. Well, and I think that totally holds true. That it is. I mean, it's very enjoyable, and it is really rewatchable and then quotable through different portions of that, and I think it always goes back to resonating with you. Where were you, or what memories do you have of watching it, or what new memories have you created while you're watching it? I mean, I remember watching it with the kids, as they got old enough to see it, and then having that discussion. Is it a Christmas movie? Well, yeah, it is, because this is why we think it's a Christmas movie, and so then it's like, well, yeah, we can watch it during Christmas. And, the first was like, why would we watch this during Christmas? Watch. You just wait and see. You'll see. It's a Christmas movie. And you got this. And
what do you think about Die Hard 4.0 and Die Hard A Good Day to Die Hard?
One of those I don't think I've seen.
Oh, interesting.
I saw the one with Jai Courtney.
Okay, so that's the fifth one. So you haven't seen the one with the Harrier jet? Is that the one?
Is that in Russia? Or Jai Courtney's the one in Russia?
No,
right?
Jai Courtney is the one in Russia.
I don't think I've seen number 4 then.
It's directed by Len Wiseman, who's actually a really good director. Yeah.
He did Underworld.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen it.
It's got some really great action sequences. It's a pity because it doesn't feel like Die Hard anymore.
Okay.
I think the third one only worked because they had a banter, like a buddy cop vengeance. But as soon as you take it out of a contained space, it doesn't feel like Die Hard anymore. And so you lose what it makes. Then it just becomes an action movie, which I think is what people were missing. Yeah,
because I mean, it's fine to just have an action movie, but there's something if you're going to call it a Die Hard, part of the Die Hard.
What makes a Die Hard movie a Die Hard movie? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So that, I mean, kind of like Lethal Weapon,
yes.
Which also, first Lethal Weapon, that's a Christmas movie.
Exactly, absolutely. Yeah,
Christmas music, Christmas trees, the whole. I mean, even the scene driving through the Christmas and the Christmas tree lot or chasing through there. So, but yeah. Now, one of the comments said there's snow, Christmas movie. I don't remember snow in L.A. There's the raining down of the bearer bonds and all of the paper and the trash.
I think that too at the airport has loads of snow, which is why
tons of snow there.
Which is why it's all Christmassy, because people. Even though it's not really true for most places in the world, people watch movies and think Christmas and snow and colorful lights.
Well, so is that Hollywood influence?
Yes,
then
100%. Yeah,
because I mean, you have White Christmas, which again an iconic movie and beautiful, and I just love all the musical numbers within there, and it's very funny as well. But yeah, the whole. I mean, there's even the there's no snow for part of that. And that's part of the whole plot point, is that it's going to ruin the resort. And so nobody's going to show up. And so they're in trying to raise the spirits of the general, and then it does happen to snow, and so they do have a white Christmas. But I'm trying to think of, you think back to, Papa Noel or any of these, where he's northern, so colder. He lives supposedly in the North Pole or around the North Pole there. So that snow there, I think, could be just associated with Santa. I don't know, trying to follow that, my thinking there. But you have quite large swaths of the earth that never see snow, first off.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what time of the year it is. Yeah, I don't know. Do you get snow in the UK on Christmas?
We used to, but because of global warming, which a lot of people don't think exists, we don't so much anymore. Like when we first arrived in this house, we've lived in our current place in about 12 years. For the first 3-4 years, we had pretty heavy snow. But we very rarely see it now. And if it does, it's like sleet or ice, and then it's gone. It's very rare. We have to drive a few hours to see snow at Christmas, which is disappointing because my wife loves snow. She wants to be snowed in. Send us some of your snow, please.
Well, I don't have snow where I live. I have to drive hours too.
All right, okay.
Yeah, about 2 hours to get
in America, in my mind, at Christmas, you guys get snow, but that's not true, is it? No.
Well, because I live in California, the big perception is that I live on the beach.
Yes.
And that that it is sunny and the ocean is just 15 feet away.
Yeah.
No, that's not the case. Where I live, I'm 2 hours from wonderful cold beaches, which I love. 2 hours from the mountains, which I also enjoy.
The water is not
beach.
warm?
Not where I'm at, no. In Northern California, it is choppy, it is cold, and there are sharks.
Oh.
And, and like we're known for having deadly great white shark attacks.
People getting munched by sharks.
Yes. Oh. That is a normal thing in our place. So, you don't want to go in the run. You can get eaten, chomp, chomp, chomp. And there's no donut before. It's just you just go. So
well, that's as far as you know. But in their heads, they could be going da da.
Oh no, they totally do. Yeah, because remember that cartoon, which is off on a whole another tangent there. But remember, what was that cartoon with? I think the Pink Panther. Not the Pink Panther movies, but just the animated series where they would have one of the shorts with the shark, and I think he had his own music too. I don't know. Anyway.
This has really got a sidetrack.
Totally digressed off of there, but I don't know. I think most people agree that Die Hard is an absolute Christmas movie because of the setting, because of the themes that we have within there, the music, the timeline itself. All of these point to that. And I think what you had brought up, where you found those three items of what really needs to be in there to classify it kind of as a Christmas movie, this checks those boxes. Which then allows you to have the other movies that could or could not be Christmas movies fit within there as well.
True.
Maybe that would be interesting to sometimes go through, take that checklist and look at some other movies and say, is this one a Christmas movie also now? Or is it not? Even if we thought it was a Christmas movie, does it fit within this type of criteria if that's what we choose to use? So.
It's interesting. Back in 1988, the budget for this film was $28 million, which is pittance compared to what they use now.
Think about, like top tier actors get about 20 or so million.
Yeah.
So the whole budget, and you have a building blowing up, a part of it. That is, like, and the quarterback is toast. The amount of things that they blow up in this is incredible to be able to do it for for that. I mean, I'm not saying that $28 million is not a lot of money. That is an exorbitant amount of money. But in the grand scheme of how much it takes to make movies, that's nothing in today's world.
It did all right as well, like gaining money. I think it's made like 168 million. So it made like 5 times its box office bank, which is great.
Yeah, not too shabby there.
Not too shabby in 1988. So,
yeah.
Look, here's looking at you, James Cameron, with your 600 million.
Yes, and your movie that's never going to come out.
It's a fiction. It's a MacGuffin. It's that thing that we'll never see.
Yes. No. Oh, goodness.
I do wonder if we'll ever see a reboot. There's a question. Should we get a remake of Die Hard? It's been a long time. Could someone do it with the same sort of nostalgia but make it relevant for today's society? What would that even look like?
I don't know if a lot of the jokes would work in that. The behaviors. I mean, think of who's the dirtbag that get the that we were talking about, who's snorting the cocaine and stuff like that. I mean, that character, while people still like that still exist.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Upset. You can't do that anymore. And the lead, I'm not even going to go there. You can't make a Die Hard movie anymore because it just wouldn't work.
Yeah, not like that at all. I mean, there's so much within there that is questionable for today.
Absolutely. Think. So many of the 80s films have things in them that they say and get away with that even in some of our streaming services now, they'll have messages before the films. I don't know if you've noticed that on some of your streamings. Yeah, we get this message. This is not what we believe, and some of the political or the racial stuff in this is not good, or it's just because they can't edit it out the film. They don't have the rights to do that, but it comes with like a warning.
Or at least the disclaimer to distance themselves from the work itself. Yeah. Well, and that leads me, there was a time in the early 2000s where that, before the movie would start, like it would say, Paramount Pictures does not support the messages within this or something like that. And yet it's their movie being put out. And that always bothered me. That it was like, you know what, you chose to do this movie, to buy this movie, to distribute this movie.
Yeah, you've attached your name to it. There's nothing you can do about that now.
Yes. So don't sit here and give us this disclaimer because it's a political hotbed now, or a cultural hotbed. You chose that. So own it. Just say, you know what, at the time we thought this was the right thing to do. We stand by it. Here's our picture. Good to go. And so which again, that has nothing to do with anything, but stream of consciousness. Welcome.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see, like if you're listening, if you had to have, if they're going to make a remake and they're going to reboot the franchise, who would you cast in this film? Like they're going to do a similar plot. They're going to have a building. They're going to, where would you have it first? Anybody, male or female, doesn't matter. You could have, you get lots of strong Sigourney Weaver type actresses that could be an interesting dynamic to shake it up that way. And I know people listening just are rolling their eyes, going, "Oh, not another woke." I think it could be fun to see that version, and maybe this time around it's the female cop or detective that has marriage issues with her partner, or the husband or wife. It could be interesting to see what that would look like in today's offices. Make it relevant.
Jane McClane.
Yeah, absolutely. Could work.
Yeah, well, and I would. If anybody's rolling their eyes at that, why would you? You have, I mean, we have a track record of very strong female protagonist heroes. I mean,
Sigourney Weaver's right back. Aliens, we had it there.
Yeah, I mean that. She's outstanding. So, I mean, right there. But yeah, there's so many. Okay. Yeah, I would like to. I don't even know how I would answer that.
Mm.
I would. That's one that you definitely. I would have to noodle for quite a while to, what would I want, and could you do it just as a direct remake, with the thieves? Because I would think now it would be cybercrime.
Yep, probably. Yep.
Which
so
takes a
what
whole
building can you get? Maybe crashing the stock market, something like that could work. It's cybercrime.
But you can do that from anywhere, right?
Yeah, but it has to be something that's housed specifically at a place, the servers or something. Like,
you can't get in anywhere else but getting in.
Yeah, so if you crash it there, or you're fixing it, so you're uploading a code of some kind that's going to siphon off a percentage, a 0.0001% of all accounts housed there, and then
sounds familiar.
Yeah, where have we
Have we heard this? A couple of times too.
Station 11, which we talked about in last week's podcast. There's the female protagonist there, Kirsten. Well, she plays Kirsten. She could, I could totally see her as an action role. She's really strong. Mackenzie Davis, yeah. And she's got really great presence on screen as well. Just off the top of my head, thinking of actresses that are coming up that aren't old. Not necessarily that age has anything to do with it, but you kind of need in the 30s, I guess, because that's what McLean was like, young, early 30s, I think. I'd have to check that out. Actually, how old was he?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because Bruce Willis, it's hard to point down because he's had a receding hairline for like ever. So it makes him look a little older.
Yeah,
and I mean, if you look at me with my gray hair and my gray beard, I look probably older than I actually am. I'm mid-40s, have been gray since my early 30s. So, I had a friend who went bald at 18.
Wow.
And so it does change the perception of how old, how old you think somebody is. So maybe he was mid-30s.
So according to Die Hard Wiki, which I'm sure is accurate, John McClane was born May 23rd, 1955, an Irish-American detective lieutenant with the New York City Police Department.
So he would have been, 33?
Yeah, he has been, so I was right.
Good call.
Yeah, in his early 30s. So, so you got to think about actors or actresses in that age demographic. But I guess, like you said, it doesn't really matter because you can never quite tell with some actors. What I've noticed with African American actors, they have, like, for the most part, this youthful look, and even like Denzel, has aged beautifully. Dijon, how do you pronounce it? Monsu. How does he looks like younger every time I see him.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I mean, it shocked me. I found out Michael Keaton is like 70.
What?
That was my response. Wait, what?
Well, I suppose because he was, the original Batman. Well, not original, but the Tim Burton Batmans. Yeah. So, wow.
Yeah. But you look at him. I mean, I don't even consider him to be. It was shocked me he was that old. So you have a lot of these actors who, and actresses. I put that all within the actor category. That, I mean, they, kicking butt, way better shape than I am.
What about a Die Hard series? Because that could be different. Would that work as a series? Would you?
No.
A limited series stuck in a building, like 6 episodes. I don't know that TV works for Die Hard.
I don't know if that does either. I don't know. Is that interesting enough? Because you figure, okay, so go limited series. Let's say 6 episodes, 4 episodes.
4 episodes.
I mean, a 4-hour Die Hard. Do we want that?
Yeah. How long can you string that along?
Yeah, I think I would get
annoyed. Or how believable is your character going to continually getting beaten up and blown up?
Well, and you have to at least at that point break off to side characters and to things that are going on also, which then reduces the urgency of what's going on.
You kind of need to follow. Yeah, I don't think it works. Let's not do that.
Yeah. Maybe, anybody that's listening, don't do that.
Maybe a play, theater production of Die Hard.
Oh my gosh.
There probably is one, I bet you it's been
there
done.
Probably is.
Some
off
kindergarten school has gone, Dad, I want to do this. And they got to pass the board. And then you have some little 9-year-old, yippee-ki-yay, mother truckers.
Except they forget to say trucker and...
yeah, totally. They're suspended, but it's worth it.
It's so funny. That one person in the crowd, that's my kid.
Yeah. I did the dad duty on that one. I am proud of myself. And all the dads are nodding and all the mothers are like...
Yeah. And some people are like... just horrified. Oh, goodness. Oh, wonderful. Oh, right on. Well, okay. So did we give whether or not we believe the movie is, regardless of what John McTiernan said? I mean, John McTiernan says that you had quoted him before, like, we hadn't intended it to be a Christmas movie, but the joy that came from what it is what, or from what, let me start over so I quote him correctly. We hadn't intended it to be a Christmas movie, but the joy that came from it is what turned it into a Christmas movie. So McTiernan does believe that it is, at least now, a Christmas movie.
So the creator believes it is a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe it is a Christmas movie also.
Excellent. Oh, well, I think it's not. I actually think it's one of the worst films I've ever seen. I like talking about it because people just get angry, and I just say, you're wrong. It isn't a Christmas movie. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Pushing the buttons there. Just tweaking everybody off. I mean, what?
No,
what?
Of course. It's one of my go-to films. Of course, I think it's a Christmas movie. I only watch it at Christmas, actually. So,
yeah, that's the only time I watch it now, also, is during Christmas time. That's, yeah.
All
right. Well, do we want to briefly touch on some of the things that we're looking forward to this coming week?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I think probably for me, the biggest one is this little series, season 4 of Cobra Kai.
Yeah. So I've seen it, but I can't say anything about it.
Oh, I haven't started binging it yet.
And I really want to. But it's not worth me being blacklisted by Netflix. So I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Well, there's cool. A couple of movies coming out, or series maybe. There's what is it? The Harlan Coben series on Netflix. Stay Close. Is that what it?
Yeah, Stay Close. Anytime it's Harlan Coben, man, I'm down to give it a go at least. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we've been getting a bunch from him on Netflix, which
they've obviously must have struck a massive deal or something. And
yeah. It is weird though that this one also stars Richard Armitage, who was in Safe. No, that was Michael C. Hall. Strangers.
Oh, really? Okay, so he's done one before. There's a multiverse of Harlan Coben content.
Yeah, so I don't think it plays the same characters, but
that's interesting.
Anyway, and then we had talked about it I think a week ago, Olivia Colman, but The Lost Daughter is coming out also. I'm looking forward to that one.
Looks very interesting, and she's great. So I think
absolutely.
There's one called, it's a mockumentary called Death to 2021, which I'm just interested to see, because it's retrospective, it's talking heads, it's interviews, but with like fairly popular celebrities, just kind of gathering footage of what has happened in 2021. I think they should have done something like that in 2020 as well.
Oh, they did.
Oh, they did.
You didn't see it?
No, I didn't. No.
Oh no, it was. I think it's quite American centric.
All right. Okay.
But what was funny about that is that you have some British comedians and British celebrities commenting on that.
Oh, really?
And that's what, I mean, for me, who could laugh about it, I thought it was hilarious. It didn't resonate, I think, as well with some American audiences.
Right.
But for me, I thought it was brilliant, and I thought spot on. Like you're making fun of our idiocy, which it needs to be. So please, yes, thank you for pointing that out. So yeah, I can't wait to see this one too.
And just to mention, as we're coming up to the end of the year, there's some really cool stuff coming at like near the beginning. I think the first 3-4 months of 2022, we've got Dota Dragon's Blood. I believe that's in January sometime, the second season. I think early within the first 3 months is Resident Evil, the live action series, as well as The Sandman. I heard that's early. Bridgerton, doesn't matter really if you liked it or not. That hit Netflix with a storm that had huge numbers. That was a big series, so that is coming very soon. And there's a number of other titles like
I've got
The Umbrella Academy season 3.
Oh, is it really? Okay, well, and I've got we'll be talking about this more, but Ozark also comes in the final season, but they're splitting it up like they did with Money Heist. They're splitting it up into 2 parts. And I'm gonna put this in here. I don't know if it's gonna focus. Let me see here. There we go. So you can see how it is.
Amazing.
Okay, so this book it's Words of Wisdom by everyone's favorite criminal, Ruth Langmore, from the hit Netflix series Ozark. And it's like, it truly is like little words of wisdom. I mean, it's, there's very short chapters. I read it in her voice.
Amazing. How can you not?
Because yeah, she's my favorite character out of that
amazing.
series.
Yeah,
so,
she's amazing.
Yeah.
There's times in the first 3 seasons where I really thought she was going to die. And I was just like, I don't know if I want to watch it if she's not in it, because she's so fun to watch. Yeah. And
absolutely.
I think she's the fantastic underdog character. Like, you're rooting for her to get better, to not make stupid decisions, and to be given the opportunity to do well, also to not do anything more that's going to get you in trouble with drug dealers.
Yes.
But her life is all about the dodgy stuff. So
yes. Yeah. Oh, so good. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know when part 2 comes out. I do know that I am not getting screeners. I got the email that said, we hope you enjoy it when it releases, but we are not giving out screeners.
Oh,
okay. Fair enough.
Cool.
There we go. So, there you go.
Fair enough.
Anyway, but there's a bunch of stuff coming out within the next weeks and months that we're looking forward to. I think 2022 is going to be a fun year for viewing. At least we have no idea what else, but that's okay. Well, it's all we care about here. What did we watch, and was it good?
Exactly.
Oh, well,
I hope you enjoyed this. Happy Christmas. I hope you have a great New Year's. I think we will do a New Year's one. Lands on New Year's as well, I believe.
Yeah,
because it's a week from now. So
yes,
we'll be doing some interesting I guess rankings of films. I believe we talked about our worst top 10, which we've done the first half of, right?
Yes, we did that. Yeah,
so this will really be doing the second half of 2021, which will be a lot of fun. So if you're looking forward to that, then we'll put that out soon once we've planned it in properly.
Yes. All right. Well, hey, Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas. Feliz Navidad. However else
Happy
you
Hanukkah?
may or may not say that. Happy,
When is Hanukkah?
I don't. Yeah. I think Hanukkah's already passed.
Okay. Well, I hope you had a happy Hanukkah.
Yes.
The 8 days of Hanukkah.
Yes, there is Kwanzaa also, but I don't. I'm not aware of when that falls. So to not be disrespectful, I don't want to misspeak, but
whichever religion or however you celebrate this time of year, we hope you had a good, relaxing, festive time.
Yes.
Yes.
Lots of beverages and food, whatever that entails.
Yes.
And good times, and yes, definitely relaxation. All right.
Cool.
Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. You can always like, share, subscribe. Ruben with the Ruby Tuesday. Me, I'm Chris with Movies and Munchies. You can also always tune in to just on the podcast if you just want to listen to audio on the go. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, anywhere and everywhere that you might happen to listen. Please rate and review us there as well. Tell your friends, and we will catch you all at the very beginning of 2022. Take care.
Bye.